Up+Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up+Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
We ready for Thursday? I think so. Thank you so much for connecting here. My name is Adam Montiel. On our way to Friday. Cooling down today, too. A lot better than yesterday, but still temps slow, upper 80s. So it's still going to be a warm one. Tomorrow, kind of back to normal, kind of back to what we were experiencing for a lot of this year. Just mild. Tomorrow and slow, it's going to be like mid-70s. Perfect. And a little bit cooler up in the North County, too. Excited for today's Thursday show, a story about what we do with the gifts we are given, how we honor the people who came before us, and really what can happen when someone decides to remove the price tag and invite an entire community in. Lisa Deyo did just that, used money left to her by her parents to create fully professional dance performances that are free to attend, bringing together artists from across the state, across the country, I mean, New York, all over. It's crazy. For one big, beautiful, slightly insane weekend at Cal Poly's Spanos Theater. It's a really cool story. And speaking of story, the story behind the curtain might just be as compelling as what's happening on stage. Dancers sleeping at Lisa's house, rehearsing a part until the final hours, and trusting that all the pieces are going to come together when the lights go up. There's family, marriage, memory, music, generosity, a game of rock, paper, scissors that goes completely off the rails, and a community showing up in numbers Lisa has never seen before. So cool. Lisa Deyo joins us to talk about creativity, about all this legacy, and why some of the best things in life really can be free. This is a cool conversation, whether you're into dance numbers or not. It's a great chat, and I'm looking forward to it. First, I got a few stories. Do the national ones or the local ones first? I'll do the national ones first. This is a crazy story. A man posed as a sommelier, like a wine steward, and he did it at an Olive Garden. This is, I don't know, I was reading through this. It's pretty clever. It's pretty funny. Guy named Julian Vance, 40 years old. He was arrested after alleged, I didn't know this was against the law. What did he get arrested for? Maybe trespass? I don't know. Anyways, this dude was arrested on Tuesday after allegedly posing as an Olive Garden sommelier, and which is silly because there's no way Olive Garden has tableside wine service like sommeliers, right? But he delivers these long, dramatic, entirely invented backstories for every single house wine on the menu. Something tells me this is going to end up being like a YouTube video. Nobody seems to just do this and not kind of record it. He introduced himself to tables as the estate's traveling wine curator. Like already the dude just seems like the stuff he's saying in here, he must not know very much about wine. Pouring small samples with real tears in his eyes. Detectives say the performances grew more theatrical by the table. He described the house red as aged slowly in the tears of a heartbroken vineyard widow. Like what? The house white was reportedly pressed by hand on the very last good harvest of 1998. Yes, the dude doesn't sound like he knew anything about wine. He then claimed the Pinot Noir had personally survived 2 floods and 1 deep betrayal. He then asked one couple to hold their glass gently, saying that it's been through so much. I guess he wept openly. So it's obviously a very performative thing. Roughly 30 diners reportedly listened in stunned silence before a manager finally noticed, like, wait, what the hell's going on? I'm just reading ahead a little bit. One woman admits she genuinely teared up over the Merlot. In 22 years on this beat, I've dealt with a lot of impersonators, said Officer Dana Ruiz of Austin PD. Never one who gave a full eulogy for a wine that costs $6. So a pretty funny story. I'm kind of dying to find the story and see what he got arrested for, but faked being a sommelier at an Olive Garden. This story's got some audio. It's crazy. People at a beach in Pensacola, Florida. The Navy says they are reviewing this maneuver, but the Blue Angels flew right over a crowded summer beach, and they did a low flyover. Pretty impressive, but the kind of flyover that like shakes you from the inside. Listen to this. I mean, that was like 30, 40 feet above people. People on the beach are freaking out and holding their ears, but listen to some of the audio here. One comes by the water pretty low, and then one goes, I mean, right over the people. It's an absolutely insane video, and it almost looks a little bit like too close. But I mean, obviously it's, here it comes again. It's so good. You got to go check out this video. One jet comes screaming low over the water, and everyone gets their cameras out. And then right when you think that one's done, everyone's following that with their camera. This one goes right over the shore. I mean, pretty intense stuff. So I don't know, that video went viral. What else? Got a couple other little local headlines. Did you read about this? These two Arroyo Grande men who have been sentenced after admitting to an unprovoked assault on a sleeping homeless man that left the victim with permanent brain injuries. This is an incredible story. A guy named Boaz Brigham, 21 years old, Malachi Hayes, 18, appeared in San Luis Obispo County Court July 13th, where Brigham pleaded guilty and Hayes pleaded no contest. What's the difference? Well, they mean the same thing. No contest means it can't be used against you in a civil suit. I have the hiccups now. Both these young schmucks admitted to causing great bodily injury, making the conviction a serious and violent felony under the California 3 strikes law. What did these guys do? Well, they went to a park, and remind yourself, in Arroyo Grande, surveillance cameras are like everywhere. It's like London. It's like New York City. You can't go anywhere in Arroyo Grande, especially the village. You can't go anywhere without many cameras being on you. So the authorities saw this whole thing happen. And they find this guy like 1:30 in the morning, sleeping in like a park situation under a bench, I don't know. And they urinate on this guy. And they do that to wake him up. When they wake him up, they start beating him about the face. This poor guy, I can't even believe it. And the reason why the article is just like got my blood boiling is because prosecutors sought maximum 7-year state prison sentences, arguing the attack was especially cruel. The victim was elderly, homeless, freaking asleep, and unable to defend himself. Like, this is like the kind of person that throws down a crime on someone elderly, homeless, asleep, and unable to defend themselves. This is the same kind of person that would hurt an animal, in my opinion, or would hurt a kid. It's crazy to me. However, the San Luis Obispo County Probation Department recommended probation. Why are we listening to them? Judge Crystal Sealer, suspended a 5-year state prison sentence for both the defendants and instead placed them on 4 years of formal probation. Each must serve 364 days in county jail and is prohibited from using social media platforms, including Facebook, Insta, X, Snapchat, and Reddit for the duration of their probation. You think these two young men are going to be able to be off social media for 4 years? Okay, that's an easy probation violation. So hopefully they're on them and get them when they do violate that. So they got a year in jail. I think this should have been a prison sentence. I think that sounds there's something wrong with these young men. Would it have been a different sentence if the guy wasn't homeless? I don't know. I'm not saying it would be. Saying that, like, I don't know if it's a California thing or what's going on, but if two young men beat up an elderly, sleeping, homeless man, piss on him, and then beat him up, those guys, just put him away. Really disappointing story. One more local story, also kind of sad. One of the most Central Coast recognizable roadside landmarks, about to look very different. You know, Pea Soup Anderson's has always had a huge place in my heart. In fact, you know, we just lost my dad a month ago. One of the cool gifts he gave me last Christmas, it was so considerate. After Anderson's closed, he went on eBay and got one of their soup bowls, you know, their famous soup bowls with the picture on the bottom. And he had it put into a shadow box glass kind of frame for me. So now I have displayed an Anderson suit. It's a really sweet gift. He knows how much, we used to go to Anderson's as kid. When I was a kid, and he would take us down there. It would be family things down there. So anyways, the Buellton City Council cleared the way for most of the former Pea Soup Andersons, what we know, it's huge complex, to be demolished. The restaurant closed in 2024 after nearly a century. Since then, city officials say the vacant building has deteriorated fast. Trespassers repeatedly breaking in, copper pipes, wiring all been stripped, broken glass, damaged fixtures, other hazards are now kind of scattered throughout parts of the property. City leaders, they're seeing the writing on the wall. Place has been deteriorating. They're like, look, this is going to become a scene of a serious injury, maybe a fire. So the city council voted unanimously to remove most of the property's local historic designation, and that allows it to be demolished. But not all of it. So it's not a total erasure. The original Biltmore Hotel portion of the property, the part considered eligible for state historic status, that's expected to remain. The city also requiring the preservation of some of the pieces that people actually, fondly remember, like the rooftop signs, the neon, the stained glass. Oh, I loved Pea Soup Anderson's. The other iconic features connected to the restaurant, they'll stick around. I don't know how, but look, generations, Pea Soup Anderson's wasn't just the place you stopped for soup. It was how you knew where you were. Even if you were just going through from like one place to the next and I'd stop there to go to the bathroom. It was that bathroom where I first saw on the stall bathroom graffiti. It's my first time seeing bathroom graffiti. Here I sit, brokenhearted, tried to shit and only farted. I saw that when I was a kid, and I remember running out into the car and telling my mom and dad, and so funny. And it was there for years. That whole place was just this, it was a magical place. Crazy. Property is owned by developer Ed St. George. Still no formal plan on what will replace it. City leaders say whatever comes next needs to fit the character and history of Buellton. So yeah, most of the building is going to be coming down. The real challenge now is making sure the next chapter doesn't pretend the first one never happened. I think I like that history. Let's get into our chat with the one and only Lisa Deyo. I met this gal when she came in with Brian Aldahaf from Opera Slow. Was it last year? I don't remember what it was. Maybe last year at the Lobro Studios. And I just hit it off with her. She was great. Loved her story. And I'd love to get her in the studio again. This is going to be a chat on the phone, but really excited to connect with her about her show. We'll do that in just a second. First, I want to thank my friends at the Mountain Air for being Up and Adam. They're on Marsh Street. They've been in SLO for over 50 years, since 1975, helping generations of locals get outside and at all skill levels, camping, climbing, hiking, whatever it is. And what I love, what they do, it's still local. They got a big REI around the hill, but when you go into the Mountain Air, it's not overwhelming. You're seen, you're heard. It's not transactional. It's kind. Lindsay and Josh Herring are just fantastic people. A couple doors down, they got their store, The Switchback. Buy and sell your used gear, give your stuff another shot. Maybe get into another hobby yourself. Check out theswitchback.com, also themountaineer.com. The Mountain Air, Marsh Street, San Luis Obispo.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, our next guest, proof that art can be both ambitious and also accessible. Lisa Deyo is the artistic director of Deyo Dances. And this weekend, she's bringing a fully professional company to Cal Poly's Spanos Theater, featuring completely free performances. Her dancers are coming from New York, LA, San Diego, also right here in SLOCAL, all pulling together a production built on creativity, family legacy, which you'll hear, generosity, of course, and a little bit of beautiful chaos. Excited to welcome back Lisa Deyo. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being Up and Adam.
Oh, my pleasure, Adam. Thanks for having me.
It's great to catch up with you again. We had so much fun chatting in the studio, and I know with this production coming up this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, I can't wait to talk about it. I really wanted to see even if we could just jump on the phone with you, but I imagine at this time, this many days before a big performance, you're probably just running around doing a lot of different stuff preparing.
Oh my gosh, yes. Today is a little psycho. I have dancers from New York. I have dancers from San Diego, one from Los Angeles, and then the rest are local dancers. And so meshing that many schedules and lives together usually happens in the last week. Well, this is the last week, but actually the first time that the entire company will be all in the same room at the same time doing these pieces is going to be Friday night at our dress rehearsal.
Wow, this sounds like a reality show, more like a reality show than a dance performance. So where do we stick all these people? They're coming from all over the country to dance in your production. What do we do with them?
Well, I have some sleeping. Well, they're all sleeping at my house, although some are sleeping in my backyard, which you could call my house. It's a playhouse that my husband built for our 9-year-old daughter.
Oh.
And then I have a tent in my backyard that another dancer is sleeping in, but he's loving it. He said he loves waking up to the birds. He lives in New York, so he doesn't get this nature experience. So it's an added bonus for him. In fact, my husband's been calling this dance camp.
That's so great. I love it. Well, this is happening this weekend at the Spanos Theater, and it's so special. One, it's completely free. I mean, this is complimentary. Yes. To enjoy the arts like this, I'm going to ask how you even go beyond, how do you do that? And then what can people expect when they come this Saturday or Sunday at the Spanos Theater?
Well, the way this is even possible for me to do is because when my parents passed away a couple years ago, they left me just enough money to produce some shows. And so I did, and I charged for tickets. And I realized that even after 22 years of doing this, I still never had more than 130 people in the audience, even though the house holds nearly 500. And I thought, you know what? I'm not making enough revenue with tickets. I wonder what would happen if I just made it free. And if I could just count on my audience that usually comes to my performance to just contribute what they can. And lo and behold, we did. We made the same amount as if with donations as we had normally done with selling tickets. But we had the benefit of not the expense of using the tickets and the box office and the ushers. Because general seating is a lot more economical as a producer than doing it. So I thought, you know what? If it's free, that really is a huge gift to me that I cannot worry about. I will not worry about that. I will rely on these people that have been faithfully coming to my productions for 22. Now it's been 24 years.
Wow.
And see what happens. And so this is our third year of doing them, being able to do them for free. And we do accept donations gladly. If I can continue doing this, that's what it'll take, because it is a fully professional production. So I pay for the transportation and the housing of the dancers that come into town, and all my dancers are paid. My lighting designer friend, Todd Clark from TLC Lighting in Chicago, he is here to light 2 of the pieces along with David Beals at the Spanos Theater. And this year's production is 3 of my pieces. 2 are revivals from 2009, and then 1 is a brand new premiere. The premiere is called Rochambeau. Do you know the game Rochambeau?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Of course, yeah.
So it's a story that it revolves around the simplicity of that game. With strangers that are hanging out. I told my dancers, think that you're in Central Park. It's the middle of a lovely afternoon. Your friends are late. You just find that there's other people around you also hanging out for their late friends. And you start chatting, kind of like when you do at a bus stop. And you look approachable. And it ends up in a game of Rochambeau that goes terribly wrong. And it gets violent. It gets ugly. And the gods from Mount Olympus are looking down at this and saying, oh, no, what is wrong with these people? We need to come up with a better way. And so then they have a do-over, and it ends happy. So, spoiler alert, it ends happy. Yeah. But that's,
it doesn't turn into like real rocks, papers, and scissors being thrown about the stage. No, thank goodness it ends well.
Oh my God, you got a dark side, Adam. That's great. I might have to do that next time.
Right.
The other 2 pieces, one is called Non Troppo, and it's because it's because Beethoven wrote in the instructions to the musicians for this piece of music, non troppo, which means just enough. And I love that. The idea that you don't oversell it, you don't undersell it. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's just enough.
Yeah.
And I have been thinking a lot about family dynamics. And so Non Troppo is kind of like, originally in 2009, when I first made it, it was in my mind, it was like an agrarian community. And it's that mix of ages and life experiences of a group that is interdependent. And so it has that lovely, annoyingly cloying closeness that you can't live without. And also can make you crazy depending on your stage of life. Yeah. And so that's what that piece is about. And it's all set to lovely, sparkling, delicate Beethoven music with pretty lines, because my work is a mix of ballet, jazz, modern, and musical theater. So each piece has kind of an emphasis of more than one than another, but they're all in all the pieces. And then the last piece, I originally made it in 2009. It's called What the Hell, Jacques? And my husband's name is Jacques. And so it's different facets of our life together. And then I redid it again in 2019 and slightly made some modifications. And now I'm redoing it again this year because now we're grandparents. And so I had to add a grandparent section because it's a whole other reality. It really is. And so that is kind of a journey through our life together. And we've now been together over 40 years.
Oh, that's such a cool story. And I love how this is, your artistic direction is very much leading this way. And you come up with these dances. Do you tell these dancers, like, you have to tell each one, like, here's the guy from Chicago or the girl from, San Francisco, wherever you're bringing these people in. It's like, hey, this is the move. These are what we do right here. Do you go, hey, this is kind of what I'm feeling. I want you to kind of just interpret it the way you want. How do you kind of let them do their thing while them still making sure they accomplish yours?
Well, I don't want to call it therapy, but it might be. Because my dancers are so spread out and have such different schedules, I work more like a symphony does, in that each person learns everything they need to know, and they learn it from me. And so I went to New York. I worked with my dancers there. I've been down to LA a couple times. I've been down to San Diego a couple times. And then I've rehearsed the dancers here individually as well. And so each person learns everything they do in a piece that may have 14 other people in it.
Wow. So
that includes not just their movement, but their location on a stage. Like you could picture a football playbook.
Yeah.
It's like that. And
dang, that's really interesting, the way that you put it together. So like when you get to Friday, like that's your first time having blocking and how everyone's going to dial it in.
Exactly. And so, I've blocked like Non Troppo has 10 people in it, but it is kind of nonstop. People don't really leave the stage when it starts. And there are lots of patterns and shapes that happen. And so it's constantly dancing with imaginary people, which is why I have to rely on professional dancers, because they're the only ones who could handle this kind of insanity, I think.
Wow.
I don't know anybody else who works exactly like this.
Right, I was going to say.
For me.
Who's creating like this? Yeah.
It's necessity is the mother of invention. Sure. And when I love being here, I love raising my family here, and I love the dance community here. It's incredibly rich and vibrant. There are more dancers in this county than any place I've ever been. And it's interesting to me what a high caliber of dancer is living in San Luis Obispo and trained in San Luis Obispo, has no intention of leaving San Luis Obispo. And people don't realize what a rich culture of dance we have here. And so it's really easy for me to just I send out an email when I know what pieces I'm planning to do, because I run my company like a pickup company. So I've got like my dream team in my brain, and I send those emails out, and then I see who's available, because the dates of the theater are the supreme order. So that is what calls the shots. And so David Beals is gracious enough to give us a spot at the Spanos each year, which is a lovely theater for dance. And then we put the pieces together with him.
That is so exceptional. I love this. Do you need tickets or RSVP to go, or do you just encourage people to show up?
Yes. People could show up, but it would be best, because because they're going really, really fast. That's another amazing thing. So this year, like I said, this is my 24th year. And a woman named Amy Cardell approached me. We do a water workout together. And she said, hey, I like your work. Could I help the PR team? And I said, what PR team? You're looking at her. This is a one-woman gig. And she said, well, Karen, Kyle, and I would love to take that on. And oh my gosh. So last year we had a huge jump from like a typical 130 people in the audience to 170 in the audience.
Wow.
And that was due to the efforts of three of my friends, Lisa McCann, Ann O'Brien, and Connie Willard, getting the word out to different organizations. Since I didn't need to worry about people that would buy tickets, I wanted to reach out to people that maybe hadn't thought of going to dance, or it had been too expensive for them to go to dance, because tickets are expensive. And so one of them got a hold of the foster family program in the county and was able to send an email to every family in the county, linking them to the free tickets. And it caused a huge jump in our attendance. Well, this year, we're already over 330 per performance.
Wow.
And so at this rate, it might sell out. And so I would strongly recommend people to put that in so that we can cut it off. The trick is it's general admission. So there's no reserved seats. So people will need to come. The doors to the audience will open at half an hour before the performance. But there's, just open seating. And it does hold nearly 500. So there is a little buffer, but I have no idea at this rate how many people are going to be lining up, which is very exciting. It's a wonderful problem to have.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love this. So where do people go do this? Where do people RSVP? I want to put these links in the show notes.
The easiest way to do it is to go to my website. It's deyodances.com. So it's my name, DeyoDances.com. And there's a link right when you open it that says free tickets, and you click there.
I love it. Well,
it'll take you to Eventbrite, and then it's as easy as that.
I knew right when we met that first time, we hit it off. I knew that it would be so much fun to chat with you again. Next time we do this, we got to make sure we get you in the new studios here. It'd be fun to have you back.
I would love it. Thank you so much, Adam.
Oh, it's so much fun to chat with you. Break a leg. I won't wish you luck because I don't think it's fair to people who need it. You're going to have a great weekend, and I'm really stoked for you.
Thank you, Adam. I look forward to talking with you again.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Love that story. July 18th, July 19th. Check it out. The July 18th Saturday show, 7 p.m. Sunday matinee, 2 p.m. Cal Poly's Spanos Theater. Get all the links at deyodances.com, and I have them for you at your fingertips in the show notes. All right, before we bounce out of here, don't forget to check out slowfreeparking.com and show some love to our 3 restaurant friends that are really trying hard. They're doing their best to get people to come back downtown slow, specifically to park. And that's La Esquina, great Mexican food, Mama's Meatball, great Italian food, and Mistura, great Peruvian food. Your parking is covered now. Park, eat, validate, done. When you park in that new Cultural Arts District parking structure at DePomo and Palm, it is the brand new structure. Park in there, eat, validate, done. It is that easy. You can get all the details. Also link up to these 3 favorite restaurants of yours at slowfreeparking.com. All right. Check out our friends Moonshiner Collective. Original music on this show provided by them. A great band, great people. And they got their Under the Moon concert series coming up soon. Moonshinercollective.com. I want to say it's mid-August, August 14th. I believe. MoonshinerCollective.com. Also stream them wherever you get your music. This show, recorded at SoCal Studios in the heart of San Luis Obispo County, California. SoCal, where the wine is world class, the people are real, and life is too beautiful to rush. Returns well taken. Visit SoCal.com. That's SLOCAL, SoCal.com. All right, till tomorrow when it will be Friday. Excited for tomorrow's show, too. Can't wait to share with you. Till then, I'm Adam Montiel. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start